Late at night, the 20th floor stands empty. A janitor mops the marble floor, the rhythm of his movement steady and practiced. Then he hears it. Piano notes, clumsy and disconnected, coming from the music room down the hall. He stops, sets the mop against the wall, and walks toward the sound. Inside, a blind girl sits at the grand piano. Her small fingers search for the keys, pressing them hesitantly, trying to find a melody. He stands in the doorway for a moment, watching. Then he crosses the room and sits at the second piano. "May I join you?" His voice is gentle, careful not to startle her. She smiles, tilts her head to listen. Two pairs of hands, one rough and worn from years of labor, one small and delicate. They begin to play together. Behind the half-open door, a woman in a white suit stands frozen. Tears stream down her face. She covers her mouth to keep from making a sound. She has never heard her daughter play like this. His name is Elias Monroe, 42 years old, single father, janitor at the AstraNova Corp building. His dark brown skin shows signs of weariness, fine lines around his eyes that speak of sleepless nights. His hands are calloused from years of hard work, mopping, scrubbing, carrying. But Elias was not always a janitor. 10 years ago, he played piano in a military orchestra. He traveled across the country, performing at ceremonies, memorials, celebrations. His wife, Maya, would sit in the front row at every performance. Her smile was the only audience he needed. After each concert, she would meet him backstage and say the same thing. "You make the piano sing." They had a daughter together, Nia. A bright girl with her mother's laugh and her father's love of music. Life was simple then, full, complete. Then came the accident. A drunk driver, one night in December, changed everything. Maya was driving home from her sister's house. The car ran a red light, hit her driver's side at full speed. She did not survive. Elias stopped playing that day. He could not bear to touch the piano, could not hear music without seeing Maya's face. The military orchestra understood. They gave him time. But time did not heal him. Eventually, he resigned. He took the first job he could find, a job where no one asked questions, where he could disappear into the rhythm of mopping floors and emptying trash cans. He raised Nia alone. Every dollar he earned went to her future. She was 13 now, smart and strong, but growing up too fast. But tonight, something pulls him back. The girl at the piano. She cannot be more than 9 years old. Her eyes do not move, do not focus. She's blind. Yet her fingers move across the keys with determination. She plays by ear. No sheet music, no teacher, just pure instinct. Elias recognizes the melody. Clair de Lune, Debussy. It was Maya's favorite. But the notes coming from the girl's fingers are incomplete, disconnected, like a puzzle with missing pieces. He watches her for a moment, his heart aching with memory. Then he sits down at the second piano. "You are close," he says softly, his deep voice gentle. But music is not just about hitting the right keys. It is about feeling the space between the notes. The silence is as important as the sound. The girl turns her head toward his voice, her rich brown skin glowing in the dim light. Her coily hair is pulled back into 2 small puffs adorned with colorful beads. "Who are you?" she asks, her voice small but unafraid. "Just someone who used to play," Elias says. "What is your name?" "Seren." Beautiful name, like the word serene, peaceful. "Do you come here often, Seren?" She nods. "My mom works here. She's always busy, in meetings, on phone calls, making decisions." So I wait, and I play, or I try to play. Elias notices the bracelet on her wrist, silver with words engraved in braille and regular letters. Hear with your heart. That is a special bracelet, he says. Seren touches it gently, her fingers tracing the raised braille letters. My dad gave it to me before he left. He said even though I can't see, I can still hear everything the world has to say. Elias does not ask more. He understands loss. He understands loneliness. Would you like me to show you something? He asks. Seren smiles, and it transforms her entire face. Yes, please. Elias places his hands on the keys. He closes his eyes for a moment, remembering. Then he plays. The same melody Seren was attempting. Clair de Lune. But this time it is complete. The notes flow like water, smooth, effortless, alive. Seren listens. Her face lights up with wonder. It sounds like the ocean, she whispers, like waves coming in and going out. Exactly, Elias says. Music is not just sound. It is emotion. It is color. It is everything you feel but cannot see. And you, Seren, you have a gift. Can you teach me? Seren asks, her voice hopeful. Elias hesitates. He looks at his worn hands, his janitor uniform with AstraNova Corp stitched on the chest. He does not belong here. But then he sees her smile, her hope. Yes, he says finally, I can teach you. From that night on, Elias comes to the 20th floor every evening after his shift ends. He brings no payment, asks for nothing in return. He teaches Seren how to feel the music, how to let the melody guide her fingers. He starts with the basics: hand position, finger strength, understanding the layout of the keys. The piano has a pattern, he explains. 7 white keys repeat over and over: C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Once you learn the pattern, you can find any note. Seren's fingers explore the keyboard, and memorizing the feel of it. It's like a puzzle, she says. Exactly. And you are going to learn how to solve it. She learns quickly. Week by week, her playing transforms. The disconnected notes become phrases. The phrases become stories. For the first time in 10 years, Elias feels alive again. He feels purpose. Every night becomes a ritual. Elias finishes his cleaning duties at 11. By then, most employees have gone home. The building is quiet, empty, safe. He takes the elevator to the 20th floor and opens the door to the music room. Uncle Elias! Seren calls out the moment she hears his footsteps. She cannot see him, but she has learned to recognize the sound of his work boots on the tile floor. Hello, little one, Elias says, warmth filling his chest. He sits beside her at the piano. Tonight they practice scales: C major, G major, D major. Then arpeggios, broken chords that flow up and down the keyboard. Then a simple piece by Chopin. Seren stumbles on a difficult passage. She frowns. I cannot get it right, she says, frustration creeping into her voice. Do not focus on perfection, Elias tells her gently. Focus on the feeling. What does this music make you feel? Seren thinks for a moment. It feels sad, but also hopeful, like someone remembering something beautiful that's gone. Elias feels his throat tighten. Then play it that way. Let your heart lead. Your fingers will follow. She tries again. This time the notes are softer, more delicate, more real. Elias smiles. Better. Much better. You are not just playing notes anymore. You are telling a story. They talk between pieces. Seren asks questions about everything. Uncle Elias, what does a sunset sound like? Elias laughs, a deep, genuine sound. A sunset? Well, it sounds like peace, like everything slowing down. The birds get quieter, the wind gets softer. If you listen close enough, you can almost hear the sky changing colors. I wish I could see colors, Seren says quietly. You do, Elias says firmly. You just see them differently. You hear them, you feel them. That is a gift, Seren, not a limitation. Most people see with their eyes and miss everything else. She hugs him suddenly. Elias is surprised. He has not been hugged in years, not since Maya died. Thank you for being my friend, Seren whispers. Elias feels something break inside his chest. Something warm, something he had buried. Always, he says, his voice thick. I will always be your friend. But their secret cannot last. One night, the building security guard makes his rounds earlier than usual. He hears the piano, two pianos playing together. He follows the sound. He opens the door. He sees Elias, a black man in a janitor's uniform, sitting with a child, alone at night. What is going on here? The guard demands, his hand moving toward his radio. Elias stands quickly, his heart pounding. I was just helping her practice. Helping her? You are a janitor. You have no business being in this room after hours, especially not alone with a child. Please, Seren says, her voice urgent. He is my teacher. He did not do anything wrong. I am reporting this, the guard says firmly. He takes out his radio. Elias feels his world collapsing. He knows how this looks. A janitor, alone with a child, after hours. No one will believe his intentions were pure. The next morning, Elias is called into the manager's office on the 15th floor. The manager is a tall man with cold eyes. His name is Darren Holt. His dark skin is smooth. His tailored suit impeccable. He does not like janitors. He does not like people who break rules. You were caught in the music room last night, Darren says, not bothering with pleasantries. With a child, after hours. Do you understand how serious this is? I was teaching her piano, Elias explains, trying to keep his voice steady. She asked me to. She was alone and she needed help. You are paid to clean, not to play piano, Darren says sharply. Not to interact with tenants, especially not children. Do you have any idea what that looks like? But she was alone, Elias says, his frustration rising. She needed someone. That is not your concern. Darren interrupts. This is your final warning. If I catch you in that room again, you are fired. Do you understand? Elias clenches his fist. He needs this job. He has bills. He has Nia to support. Yes, sir, he says quietly. He turns to leave, but Darren is not done. People like you need to know their place, Darren says. You are a janitor, nothing more. Elias does not respond. He walks out. That evening, Elias does not go to the music room. He finishes his shift and goes straight home to his small apartment in Brooklyn. He tells himself it's better this way. But the next night, as he mops the 20th floor, he hears the piano again. He stops outside the door. He should walk away. He should protect his job. But then he hears Seren's voice, small and broken. Uncle Elias, are you there? Please be there. His heart shatters. He opens the door. Seren is sitting at the piano, tears running down her cheeks. Her small shoulders shake. I thought you left me, she says, her voice trembling. I thought you left me like my dad did. Elias kneels beside her, taking her small hand in his. I will never leave you, Seren. Never. I promise you that. But the man said you cannot come back. Let me worry about that, Elias says gently. Right now, let us play. They play together one last time, a duet he has been teaching her. River flows in you. The melody is tender and bittersweet. But they are not alone. Outside the room, Darren Holt stands with two other employees from HR. He called them as witnesses. He planned this. Caught you, Darren says, stepping inside with a triumphant expression. Elias stands slowly. He knows what is coming. I told you to stay away, Darren says. I gave you a direct order. You are done. Pack your things and leave the building. The other employees whisper. Some look uncomfortable. Others smirk. But then Seren grabs Elias's hand with both of hers. She holds it tight. Please do not take him away, she says, her voice fierce. He is the only one who sees me. He is the only one who hears me. Darren hesitates for just a moment, but then his expression hardens. This is not negotiable. Security will escort you out. Elias looks at Seren one last time. He kneels down. Remember what I taught you, he whispers. Hear with your heart. Play with your heart. He places something in her hand, a small folded piece of paper with his phone number. If you ever need me, call, day or night. Then he walks away. Seren sits alone at the piano, her small hands resting on the keys. And for the first time in weeks, she does not play. 3 days pass. Elias does not return to the building. He takes a job at a grocery store, stocking shelves at night. The pay is worse, the hours are longer, but at least no one judges him. He thinks about Seren every day. He wonders if she is still playing, if she remembers what he taught her. Meanwhile, on the 20th floor of AstraNova Corp, something is changing. Selene Kade sits in her corner office, surrounded by glass walls that look out over the city. She is the CEO of AstraNova Corp. 33 years old, sharp, driven, ruthless when necessary. Her dark brown skin is flawless. Her natural hair is styled in elegant locks that cascade past her shoulders. She wears power suits in white and cream. She built this company through intelligence, determination, and sacrifice. Her marriage, her social life, and most painfully, time with her daughter. Seren spends most evenings alone in the building while Selena works late. Selene tells herself it is temporary, that once this quarter ends, she will have more time. But the quarters never end. Tonight, Selene finishes a conference call with investors at 9 p.m. She is exhausted. She rubs her temples. She looks at the clock. Seren is downstairs in the music room, as always. Selene decides to check on her. She takes the elevator down, her high heels clicking on the marble floor as she walks through the quiet hallway. She hears something unexpected, piano music. It is Seren playing, and she sounds different, better, more confident, more skilled. Selene opens the door slowly. Seren is alone at the piano. Her small fingers move across the keys with grace, with feeling. She plays River Flows in You. Selene has never heard her daughter play like this. She steps back into the hallway, not wanting to interrupt. She just wants to listen. But then the music stops. Mommy? Seren calls out. Is that you? Selene freezes. How did she know? She walks inside. Yes, sweetheart, it is me. I heard your heels, Seren says, turning toward her mother's voice. You always wear the tall ones. Selene smiles. You played beautifully. When did you get so good? I have never heard you play like that before. Serene's face lights up. Uncle Elias taught me. He said music is not about seeing the notes. It is about feeling them. He said the piano is not just an instrument, it is a language. Uncle Elias? Selene asks. The janitor, Seren explains. He used to play with me every night. He showed me how to hear the music in my heart. He made me feel like I could do anything. Seren's expression falls. Until they made him leave. Selene's chest tightens. What do you mean? They made him leave. Mr. Holt said he was not allowed to be here, that he was just a janitor. So they fired him. He did not want to go, Mommy. He promised he would never leave me. Selene's expression hardens. Darren did what? Her voice is dangerously quiet. Before Seren can answer, Selene's phone rings. An important call. "Stay here, sweetheart," she says. "I will be right back." She steps into the hallway. The call lasts 20 minutes. By the time she finishes, she has almost forgotten the conversation. Almost. She walks back toward the music room, but she stops when she hears it. Two pianos playing together, creating harmony. Someone is playing with Seren. Selene's heart races. She moves quietly to the door. She looks through the small window. A man in a janitor's uniform sits at the second piano. His back is to her, but she can see his dark skin, the silver at his temples, the careful way his hands move across the keys. He is teaching Seren a duet. "Feel the rhythm," he says gently. "Do not rush. Let the melody breathe." Seren laughs, a sound Selene has not heard in years. Pure joy. They play together. River flows in you, and the melody is hauntingly beautiful. Selene stands frozen in the hallway. Tears stream down her face. This stranger, this janitor, he gave her daughter something she could not. He gave her happiness. The music ends. Seren claps her hands. "That was perfect, Uncle Elias." "Not me," Elias says modestly. "I just followed your lead." Selene takes a deep breath. She pushes the door open. Both of them turn toward the sound. Elias sees her, sees the white suit, the elegant locks, the expression of authority, and his face goes pale. Selene Kade, the CEO. He stands quickly. "I'm sorry, ma'am. I know I am not supposed to be here. But Seren called me. She asked me to come. I could not say no." Selene does not respond immediately. She studies him, his worn uniform, his calloused hands, his kind eyes. "Who are you?" she asks, her voice cold. "Elias Monroe, ma'am. I used to work here as a janitor. I was fired 3 days ago." "For what reason?" Elias hesitates. "For being in this room with your daughter." Selene turns to Darren Holt, who has just entered the hallway, alerted by security. "Is this true?" she asks. "Yes, Miss Kade," Darren says confidently. "He violated protocol. He had no authorization to teach my daughter." Selene's voice is ice. "You fired the man who was teaching my daughter piano? The man who made her smile? And you did not think to inform me?" Darren falters. "I did not know she was your daughter." "That makes it worse." Selene steps closer. "You judged him based on his uniform, not his character." Darren has no response. Selene turns back to Elias. "Why did you come back? You knew you were risking consequences." Elias looks at Seren, then at Selene. "Because she needed me," he says simply, "and I do not abandon people I care about." The room falls silent. Seren walks forward slowly. She finds her mother's hand, then reaches for Elias's. She holds both. "Mommy," she says softly, "Uncle Elias taught me how to see your face with music. He said every person has a sound, and yours sounds like strength and sadness and love." Selene's tears fall freely now. She looks at Elias, really looks at him. "You did this? You taught her all of this?" "I only showed her what was already inside her," Elias says. "Your daughter is remarkably talented." Selene wipes her eyes. She makes a decision. "Do not leave," she says. "Not yet." Elias nods slowly. Selene turns to Darren. "Leave us. Report to my office first thing tomorrow morning." Darren's face goes red, but he leaves. Selene kneels in front of Seren. "I am sorry," she whispers. I've been so focused on work that I forgot what matters most. You. Seren hugs her. It is okay, Mommy. You are here now. Selene stands. She looks at Elias. Thank you for seeing her when I could not. Elias nods. She is a remarkable girl. Because of you. The three of them stand together. A CEO who learned to see, a janitor who learned to hope, and a blind girl who brought them together. The next morning, Selene calls an emergency meeting. She summons every employee. They gather in the main atrium. Hundreds of people, confused, nervous. Selene stands on the platform, her elegant locks swept over one shoulder. I want to tell you a story, she begins. 3 nights ago, a man was fired. His name is Elias Monroe. He worked as a janitor. People glance at each other. They remember. He was fired for teaching a little blind girl piano. That little girl is my daughter. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Elias did not know who she was. He did not do it for recognition. He did it because she was alone, and she needed someone. She pauses. This company has forgotten something. We have forgotten that value is not determined by title. That sometimes the most important person is not the one in the corner office. She gestures. Elias, would you join me? Elias walks onto the platform in a proper suit, but he still looks uncomfortable. Elias Monroe sacrificed his job to help my daughter. He risked everything because it was right. She addresses the crowd. Effective immediately, Elias Monroe is appointed music director for the AstraNova Foundation. He will lead our program providing free music education to children with disabilities. The room erupts. Applause, cheers. Elias is stunned. You're exactly what this company needs, Selene says. In the back, Darren stands stiff. Selene's eyes find him. Darren Holt, step forward. He walks to the front. Every eye is on him. You judged a man by his uniform. You dismissed him without investigating. You are being reassigned to facilities management. The crowd murmurs. Darren walks off, head down. Selene turns to Elias. Do you accept? Elias looks at his hands, the same hands that scrubbed floors, that played music for a girl who could not see. Yes, he says, I accept. The crowd cheers. Seren is brought onto the platform. She feels her way toward Elias. She pulls out her silver bracelet. This is for you, she says, because you taught me. Here with your heart. Elias kneels. Seren slips the bracelet onto his wrist. The crowd goes silent. Many wipe their eyes. Selene watches them. She smiles, a real smile. For the first time in years, she feels hope. 1 year later, the AstraNova Foundation Music Hall is packed. Parents, children, teachers, press. On stage, 30 children sit with instruments. And in the center, 2 grand pianos. Elias stands at the podium in a conductor's suit. Beside one piano sits Seren. She is 10 now, her hair in beautiful braids adorned with silver beads. She wears a new bracelet. Music is light. The lights dim. Elias raises his baton. The children begin to play. It is an original composition by Elias, inspired by Seren. It is called Whispers of Dawn. The melody is beautiful, bittersweet, full of hope. Seren plays the lead. Her fingers dance across the keys. She does not need to see the notes. She feels them. The audience watches in silence. Many cry. In the front row sits Selene, watching with her own eyes. She sees her daughter, not as the blind girl who needs protection, but as the artist she has become. The music swells, then softens into a gentle ending. The final note hangs in the air. Silence. Then thunderous applause. The children stand and bow. Seren stands too. Elias steps off the podium. He takes her hand. Together, they bow. The applause grows louder. Selene stands, tears streaming, clapping. After the performance, a reporter approaches. "Mr. Monroe, what inspired you to create this program?" Elias glances at Seren, then Selene. "I was once a man who lost his way. I thought my music died. But then I met someone who reminded me that music is not about what we see. It is about what we feel, what we share." "And what is your message to people who feel lost?" Elias thinks. "That sometimes the most important moments happen when no one is watching, when there is no reward, when you simply choose to do what is right because someone needs you." He looks at the bracelet. "Hear with your heart. The rest will follow." The music hall glows with warm light. Children laugh, parents embrace. And in the center, 3 people stand together. A CEO who learned to see, a janitor who learned to hope, and a blind girl who taught them both how to hear. Sometimes the greatest miracles happen in the spaces no one is watching. Sometimes the most important people are the ones everyone overlooks. Sometimes a janitor with calloused hands can change the world, one note at a time. And sometimes a blind girl can teach everyone else how to truly see.